In this video, I'm going to share with you what are some of the proven sales conversation that really connects before conversion. So what does it mean? I think there are many tutors out there who are able to help the kids and the parents. Many tutors come with great credentials and lots of experience. And again, I think there is always the right tutor for the right kid, depending on the needs of every kid. And every kid needs is unique. So in this case, when a prospect talks to you, you want to first really understand the issues that the parents are facing, as well as the needs of the kids. Every conversation that comes in, I think the normal way will be the parents ask, what is your program about and how do you teach, and is it a group, class, or one-to-one? That one is helpful, and you know that's how our audience ask. You can always deflect it. And the reason why you want to deflect it is because you are the expert here. As an experienced teacher, you know that you want to understand the child's needs and whether it is a good match. And if it's a good match, you can get the kid to do a trial with you. And if you know that it's not a good match, you will want to refer them to someone else who you feel that can better help the kid. So how do you deflect? So the first thing first is you can say that I understand that you want to know about how I run a class, or whether it's a group class or one-to-one. And before I share with you, is it okay that I can get some understanding of what your kids needs? So can you tell me more about the challenges that he's facing right now? And when you start to say challenges, this is when even me as a parent, I will probably unload the 101 challenges that I face while supporting my kids in a subject, as well as the challenges that I think my kid is facing based on my observation or sometimes even assumption. Then what do you do next? This one, I think it's very important that you want to listen to understand. This is something that I learned from a friend, and she taught me that we shouldn't listen to answer. We should listen to understand where the parents is coming from. And I think the mindset here is also to be curious, to be non-judgmental, and to really listen in and really understand and try to offer empathy in understanding that this parent is facing these challenges every single day, and probably the whole day when it's running like clockwork in the mind. So how do we listen to understand? We apply deep understanding and we ask discovery questions. And guideline will be the 5W1. You have the what, you have the when, you have the who, you have the why. I think because whenever we ask why, people can get defensive, like, why did you ask that? You want to be mindful of the tone as well and really come across as someone who is trying to understand. So for example, this question says, why is your kid like that? It comes across punch in the face. But if you add in softener, just curious, I just want to better understand your kid's behavior. Why is it like this? Even though it may still sound quite confrontational, I think the idea here is to softener or share intention. So if you are not very sure whether why is a good question to start off with, then just focus on who. Who has helped your child in the past? Who is currently helping your kid? The who can also include the parents. Just wondering, are you also supporting your child at home? When did you notice your child's marks drop? When did your child start to face these obstacles in math? When did you start thinking of he needs help? And I think one of the things can also be why now? I think why now can also be when question. The when is now. It's just curious, like, why are you looking for help now? Or you can ask in a way, what makes you look for help right now and not 1 month ago when you noticed that he's stuck with his homework or he can't do his homework? Okay? What are some of the challenges that he's facing? What are some of the examples of questions that he can't do? If after you talk to the mom, you can see that the mom is very hands-on and she knows the syllabus well, you can dive deeper into what are some of the topics that you think that your child needs help with. Then where is your child studying? That will probably give you some idea whether the questions of high standard. And then next can be, how is your child being supported at home? How is he performing in other subjects? And this is something that you want to also write down in your notes, because how is he performing in other subjects can give you a better idea on the overall performance of the kid. And sometimes it will give you some ideas whether the kid is facing difficulty learning just one subject or overall. How is the kid's relationship with math? How is your relationship with your kid? If you are not very sure how to ask that, you can skip that part. But for me, as an ex-social worker, I also want to understand the dynamic of the parent-child at home. So normally I will find out like how is the relationship. Being a parent myself, we know that it's really tough to teach our own kids when our patience is low. But we are okay to teach other kids. It's based on their intention. So anyway, if you're not very sure what to ask, you can always prepare your questions and from the intention to serve. Next, if the child got help previously or has a current tutor, you can also investigate why the change now. What makes them want to change the tutor? What makes them want to look for a tutor now? You want to really understand the intention. What actually motivates the parents to want to look for help now? You can start to share some insights on your experience of working with kids who face that kind of challenges. For example, if the mom said that, oh, my kid has difficulty learning the problem types, because you listen to understand, you want to only talk about how you have helped other children to overcome this problem of understanding the problem sums. If the child has difficulty memorizing, for example, science keywords, you will want to only share your insights of helping other kids who have difficulty learning keywords and how you have helped them to overcome. And that one will be the first level, which is your experience with your students. Level 2 will definitely put you as someone who's an expert in the eyes of the parents. You will want to share a bit on the psychological factor. For example, because I'm trained in social work, so I do have some insights on understanding how kids learn in general. If you go and read up, I think you should read up, because otherwise you may just be a normal tutor who just teach that subject. I feel that it would be helpful for you to share some insights. For example, for me, I will share kids mostly kinesthetic learners, so they need to move around. Generally, the math itself is a bit hard to understand, so you will want to break it down into bite size. And so what we do is we offer a very simple 3-step process to help the child to learn so that they can tackle any questions. And also for me is to, instead of trying to memorize what they are done, we go by the smarter way of just recognizing the types based on keywords, and there are only a few of them. Based on what you share, you want to present it as a solution for the parents that you are talking to. At the end of the day, the prospect is not going to care how good you are. Yes, they will be able to be wowed by your experience having supported other kids who face similar challenges. And this is more of like reassurance for the parent that, oh, I know you can help my kid. This one will probably differentiate you from other tutors who they have talked to, and this makes you stand out. But as a consumer, and we are all consumers, you know that you only want to hear how, when you talk to somebody, you only want to hear how this person can help you solve your problem. So it's the same thing. You want to direct it back to the prospect and say that, so based on what you shared, this is how exactly I will help your child when your child sign up for my program or join me. And then it's something that you want to say with confidence, and you will want to say you or your child, because it's all about connecting and helping your prospect to really understand that you are listening to them, and you listen to understand and not to listen to answer. Of course, there'll be question like, so how much do you charge? And normally for this one, it's a very common question, and I personally will just put it onto the back until I have addressed all the questions and doubts of the parents. So what I can say is that I understand that you want to know about the investment, and I still have some questions to check in with you to really understand whether I can really help your kid. Is it okay that I can continue to ask them? And most of them will say yes. So you can just talk about all this over here. Probably if you look at it, this whole cycle, 2, 3, 4, 5, is all about connecting with the prospect. Then this is what I teach my clients. Sometimes we really do not know whether we can support the kid. And that's why in the tuition market, there's this thing called trial. So if your lesson is 2 hours, you can consider just 45 minutes trial. It's a paid trial because your time is important. You just tell the parent that normally what I do is I have 45 minutes paid trial. And the purpose of this trial is really for your child to see whether he likes my program, he can understand what I'm saying, and also for me to see whether I can help your child. So it's both ways. And then it comes with 15 minutes a post-lesson assessment, and then I will discuss with you my findings, what are the difficulties or challenges that your child is facing, and if I can help your kid, I will share with you what I can do. If I can't help your kid, I will let you know as well. Is that okay with you? And because this is something what we call risk reversal in marketing, most people will say yes. If they say no, it's okay. Anyway, it's always an ongoing conversation because you truly care. And after that, whatever price that you say, you got to ask this first. Mommy, just wondering, is there anything else that you have? Any doubts, any curiosities? So the mom said no. All right, so this is my charges. And whatever charge that you say, doesn't matter, small amount, big amount, is actually very subjective. So imagine if you are charging, say, way ahead of market rate. Please say with confidence. Be nonchalant. So what does it mean? So for example, primary school market, the market rate is, I'm not very sure because I don't follow the market rate. It's 30 per hour, but you are charging 85 per hour for primary school. And this is what one of my tutoring clients charge after I work with her on her value stack as well as bundling and packaging her services and products. And so this is the amount that she charged now, which is almost 3 times of what a normal tutor charge. If $85 per hour is your fee, you want to be nonchalant first. Okay, so how it goes. So you can say, so my charges are $85 per hour. Be confident. What you shouldn't do is when the prospect asks for your fees, you go, I know that normally 30 per hour, but I charge 85 per hour. If it's too expensive, you let me know. Don't do that. By doing this, you are exhibiting probably anxiety and not very sure that you can charge so much. So having said that, the way to say whatever fees that you want, it should be, my charges are $85 per hour. I have a tutoring client who charge 2.5 times more than most secondary school tutor, and this is how he say it. I charge 100 blah 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 per hour. So be cool, be calm, and what you can do is you can just do what we call an assume close. Assume close means assuming that you want my service. Would you want the trial to be on Monday or Tuesday? So give 2 choices and let them choose. Assume close is very common, and this is ready to move the conversation forward. If the prospect says that at the moment I'm not very keen, you can say, just wondering what are the other concerns that you have. And if the mom say no, I need to think about it, just be cool and then thank the prospect for her time and then just keep in touch, because there are many tutors out there in the market and the parents are spoiled for choices. So just continue to be professional and then keep in touch with the prospect. And one of the things that I like to do is really wish the prospect all the best, and hopefully that they can find the right tutor to help their kids. Because being a parent myself, sometimes when my child doesn't do well in school, I also panic. When a tutor or teacher is able to empathize with me, I appreciate. Hope that helps.